Shut up and sit down.
Welcome once again to the Shite Podcast Show. Mark and Ken.
What's up?
On episode 170 of the Shite Talk Podcast Show.
Yeah.
The train is moving quite quickly along to our big 204 episode.
Yeah. That we still have nothing planned.
We have fuck all. Like, I don't know. We're just going to have a Zoom quiz. With all our Shite Talk listeners. How about that? Does that seem like fun?
Yeah.
I think by the end of the 204 episode, people will be sick and tired. By the time we get to it, be next year, people will be sick and tired of fucking Zoom quizzes. Things people never want to see again.
Actually, do you know what we should do for 204?
What is it? I'd love suggestions right now.
We should start a new segment from 204 called Mark's 30 at 30. And each week we should post a little video of you doing something on your 30 at 30 list.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah. Well, first of all, I haven't actually completed that 30 of 30 list. I think I have 14 things. And, yeah, people have been telling me, like, oh, you actually can do that quite easily. Like, I was chatting to my sister, and she's like, oh, man, Mark's throwing knives in his bedroom. And I was like, no, I'm not. And then I was like, she's like, oh, you can do a hot air balloon in Ireland. Apparently you can do it in Bleston. It's like around Bleston Lakes. And I was like, oh, deadly, that'd be class place to fucking hot air balloon. Like, Bleston Lake's lovely. That is something I could do. And I was like, do you know anyone who'd rent me a boat? And she's like, oh, I think that's something you should do, like, abroad. And I was like, so she's like, you can go to like an island somewhere, and I was like, unless I can see the island from when I sail off, like, there's a good chance, especially if I'm drinking, I'll take a left and end up in the middle of the Atlantic.
Mark's just gone.
In open water. I don't think that's a good idea. I was like, I was thinking maybe a river or a lake, something that, like, you can't get stranded on.
Hopefully.
Like, that's the idea. So yeah, we could actually, I will keep people up to date on my 30 of 30, see if I can hand sand, maybe put up a video of me trying to hand sand and show my progress on our Instagram, maybe. And people can actually then post stuff they're doing for their list, or if they have a list or about the 30 to 30, or stuff that they're trying to do as inspiration, because I know we probably inspired so many people with our 30 of 30 or even our bucket list. So, like, we could share. It's nice to share, isn't it?
Yeah. Sharing is caring.
Yeah, it's kind of what our show does. We each week share stories that we find, and our intern listeners get a little bit more knowledge.
And care.
And care. And that's what we got today. We got a jam-packed show, as usual.
Yeah, minus the jam.
And the pact. But we got a show, and we got some interesting stories. We have everything from an off-duty police officer fending off two armed robbers while holding his ice cream. Pretty badass, I have to say. Then we have a woman who trying to smuggle cocaine into Brazil through a fake pregnancy. And we also will be talking about a man who had to sell his PS5, Ken, after his wife figured out it wasn't an air purifier.
That we should start a segment for him called Genius of the Week.
Yeah, exactly. Well, there's so many questions I have about the story after reading the article and all. Like, how long did it take his wife to figure out? Like, was it he was plugging it into his TV and his wife was like, oh, something seems up. Like, the thing comes in a box that says PS5. Like, I'm pretty sure she must have figured out pretty quickly that it wasn't a PS5. But
it was a purifying Station 5.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of people do say it looks like a purifier, though.
Kind of does.
Yeah. So, like, I can see maybe, like, you're just insulting your wife's intelligence. That's always a good thing for your relationship. Also, what would be interesting for your relationship, especially if you're going with someone who loves meat, would be bringing them over basic clone of a burger or of a meat burger. We have another story about lab-grown meat. It seems to be something we've a lot of interest in. Ken will have the details on this story, as we talk about, it was called a no-kill meat.
No kill meat, yeah.
They always have pretentious names, don't they? They always have like a really pretentious names. Then we'll also be like, I don't know, lads have a fascination about drawing dicks. Especially when I was in school. Like anybody who's been in a secondary school where there's lads, I wonder what it's like in like an all-girls school. I wonder if similar drawings can be found. I say no. I say there probably wasn't.
Yeah, I doubt it.
I very, very much doubt it. It would be funny if there was. I don't know why. But lads have a fascination with dicks and drawing dicks and making things into dicks. And, we can now know that this happened at the beginning of time because there's actually it's made of stone, a stone dick?
Wood.
A wooden dick. Talk about a stiffy. But in Germany, and in fact, it's now gone missing. Someone has taken the giant wooden dick statue. I'm not surprised. Lads love statues of dicks, apparently. And someone in Germany has stolen a wooden dick. And like I'd say, the German authorities probably want it back.
Yeah, they've been looking for it. All right, they want to. The quote is they want to re-erect it.
Re-erected. That is brilliant. Yes, or maybe just make a bigger one. You can never have too many big giant statues of dicks, can you?
I don't know. One might be too much.
Yeah, there's a line where you cross. Like you get away with having one in your country. If you have multiple, your country starts to become known for the country with dick statues. And believe it or not, we haven't even reached our segment called Idiots of the Week with all that blinding stories for you. And our Idiots of the Week are quite, like, they're definitely worthy contenders for Idiots of the Week. One was a man who lost 53 million in his Bitcoin account after he lost his access codes. His cleaner threw out his access codes. It's a really cool, it's a really interesting story that has a lot of twists and turns to it. And then we have an arsonist, after setting 2 cars alight, accidentally set himself on fire when he doused himself in petrol again.
Yep.
I guess you could say he wasn't that bright of a spark.
How long did you practice that for?
Pretty much while I was waiting for you to reconnect. That little break in mental thought really helped. But as you see, we have a jam-packed show. A lot to get through, so we might as well get into it right now. And we might as well start off with the police officer who was enjoying ice cream with his son when I believe it was the ice cream store that might have been attempted to be robbed. But
why would you rob an ice cream store?
Is this what I don't know? It happened in Uruguay, so maybe like ice cream stores do really well. There's a lot of cash, and you know, like have you ever remember Pulp Fiction, where they're in the restaurant and they're like, no one ever robs the restaurant. I wonder if the week previous, in Uruguay, they
watched Pulp Fiction.
They were watching Pulp Fiction, and then they decided to go get ice cream. They're like, no one ever robs an ice cream store. Like, it'll be easy money. I'm sure they've light security. This'll be a handy ass robbery. No one will ever disturb us. Unfortunately, the day that they did decide to rob the ice cream store, if it was an ice cream store, we don't know. See, it is a bit murky about the details of the story. Well, anyway, there was an off-duty police officer enjoying, like I said, an ice cream with his son, and he was a bit of a badass because he managed to fend it off the 2 armed robbers while holding his ice cream without dropping it.
That's a mental image, like just this guy with an ice cream baiting these 2 robbers out of a shop.
Yeah, have you ever seen have you ever been to a place that sells ice cream and you see a really big guy with a tiny ice cream and he's just licking it? It's the funniest thing. It's like it's like something you can't stare at, but you want to stare at. You want to be like somewhere he can't see it and just stare at him, watch him eat the whole ice cream. I imagine if this was something similar of seeing a guy fight off 2 armed robbers while holding an ice cream, it would be something similar like that. Except you probably would be more inclined to be allowed to stare at something like that.
Yeah, you'd probably definitely be staring at that.
Yeah, pretty much everyone would be. And you really also, these two robbers, there's a common point in your professional career where you look at yourself and realize, I'm really not qualified for this. And imagine the two people who tried to rob the ice cream store figured that out pretty quickly when they were fended off a guy who was still holding ice cream. So basically,
remember a few years ago there was a guy in Brazil that shot an armed robber. A cop shot an armed robber while holding a baby.
I imagine that probably did happen, but I think that story is a little bit crazy because that guns are loud. You shouldn't be really firing. You shouldn't be really firing your gun. I mean, he probably didn't have any other choice but to fire the gun while that close to a child. But yeah.
And there's a video of it. He got shot.
Oh,
He's
really?
holding a baby, and these two guys come in, and he pulls a gun on them.
Yeah.
And he gets shot while holding the baby.
Jesus.
And he shoots back, and then he gives some random customer the baby to hold, and he goes and he kills these guys.
Oh yeah, I well believe it. Police in Brazil don't take any shite. They are not to be fucked with.
Just mad.
Yeah, so the cop is unnamed in the story. It happened in the capital of Uruguay, which is unpronounceable to man. But he's 46 years old. And he was sitting outside the ice cream shop when the two armed robbers started to approach him. Now, the reason I said that the story is kind of murky, whether, I don't know if possibly the two armed robbers recognized the cop and was approaching him, because there seemed to be a bit of an altercation between, a bit of exchange of words between the two guys before the cop stood up and fired 2 shots at the armed robbers after the guys went to take something out of their pocket. And then he shot a point blank range the first guy before turning his gun on the second guy and shooting at him. The both guys got away and weren't injured. Maybe it was just a warning shot, so he fired maybe so it would miss them, but close enough that it was.
He was a fairly shit shot.
Yeah, if he was actually trying to shoot them, I'd imagine if I was standing point blank range and someone missed, I have a fairly good idea that I probably could take this gun off this guy.
Yeah, this guy is blind.
Yeah, this guy is blind. he was point blank range and he missed me. And but anyway, he managed to fire 2 shots off while holding his ice cream and not dropping it. Now, I will admit that this story did catch me out, because when I first thought of it, I was like, oh, this is you really aren't cut out for a life crime if you have two guys have weapons and the other guy is only holding an ice cream and he can fight you off. I was like, you really have to look at your choices in life. Maybe get a job in a bank. Maybe settle down in a nice office job, or because life of crime really isn't for you if you're being scared off by a guy holding an ice cream. Yeah, but I guess if the guy holding an ice cream also has a gun, it kind of even things up.
Yeah, that's the last thing you want when you're robbing someone.
Yeah, it's extremely bad luck for the two guys robbing it. Who, like I said, maybe they were watching Pulp Fiction. Maybe they're like, do you know what also doesn't get robbed? Ice cream stores. No one ever. And there's never any security there. And they go drive.
I can't imagine there'd be a lot of money in an ice cream shop.
If it was on this happened in the capital city of Uruguay, I'd imagine there's a lot of footfall. I imagine they do quite well, in terms of if you're a business in a capital city, your rent's probably higher than most other places, so you probably have a better turnover. Now, if this happened recently, you imagine that they take a lot of digital payments, so in terms of hard cash in stores, it'd be a lot less. But they definitely wouldn't have same type of security that you would for a shop or any other place that actually gets robbed quite regularly. Usually there's procedures and safes in place so that you don't get robbed. It makes it harder for you to rob. So you might think that, the ice cream store might be caught with their pants down and they have all this money in cash, because an ice cream is only about two quid, let's say 2 or 3 quid. So you imagine someone's going to pay with a $5. So you imagine that, or change. So you imagine it might be a business that has hard cash around.
Yeah, but like most of it be in like literally change.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like it takes a long time for like people to fill up the bags. You imagine, so by the time like they empty all the change into a bag and the money, someone will come in looking for ice cream and go, "Oh shit, there's two guys robbing this store. I'm gonna call the cops."
Yeah.
But like anyway, that didn't happen. No one had to call the cops because there's a cop already there enjoying his ice cream with his son. So it was just really bad timing for the guys. Like an off-duty police officer who had a gun with him was able to fire at point blank range and shoot at the two robbers.
Like a similar thing happened in work one time
Oh yeah.
where I work. Yeah, a guy came in and he robbed the place. He had a knife, and when he went out the door, there was two detectives outside, and they pulled guns on him.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Jesus. That was good.
Yeah, like just wrong place at the wrong time. Like.
Yeah, or the cops were at the right place at the right time.
Yeah, like like he just picked the wrong moment to like
Rob the store.
rob the place. Yeah.
That's really, yeah. I guess like everything in life comes down to luck, and sometimes you're out of it.
Yeah.
I imagine that's what happened with our next story with your one who was trying to smuggle cocaine into Brazil. Like, I think this is quite smart. Like, I'd say like either this has been going on for a while, where people have been trying this and getting away with it, but she like, cause no one's gonna like search a pregnant woman. Like they can generally walk through life with people holding doors open for them and letting them pass through security quite quickly. Because it's a hard thing probably being pregnant, especially if you're going through like if you're traveling for any sort of a distance, you're on your feet, possibly you're sitting in uncomfortable seats. Generally, staff will accommodate you quite easily in places. So it wasn't an all right idea, but a woman got caught with cocaine wrapped in a watermelon on her stomach as she pretended to be pregnant.
Yeah, like the weirdest part of it though is that like when she got on a bus, she was on a bus in Rio,
Yeah.
and somebody actually called the cops and tipped them off.
Oh, really?
Like so, somebody on the bus copped that this woman has 4 pounds of cocaine in a watermelon under her dress.
Well, maybe they've seen a watermelon and they're like,
But like there's pictures of her. Like the dress is like
"Oh,
the
it is a
dress she's
dress."
wearing is like full length. Like it goes down to her ankles. Like
Yeah, like fair play to the person who was able to figure out that's not baby, that's definitely cocaine wrapped in a watermelon.
like how do you figure that out?
Maybe they had once previously smuggled cocaine under the same method and go, "I know what she's doing. That's not a pregnancy bump."
Yeah, that's definitely cocaine.
I imagine if you had kids before, especially if you have a few kids, like you can probably tell pretty easily if someone's pretending to be pregnant and if someone is pregnant. So I imagine what probably caught her out, she goes, "Your woman doesn't look like she's pregnant. Like that bump looks like artificial." And maybe she just loves either banged up abroad or Australian Border Force or UK Border Force. Maybe they get it in Brazil. Maybe there's a Brazilian like offshoot of Aussie Border Force and UK Border Force. Maybe there's a Brazilian Border Force program.
There could be.
Yeah, like Ireland has banged up abroad.
And do you know how much she was offered to do this?
How much was she offered?
$100.
$100 to smuggle coke. That's like you are risking like long time in prison. Especially
for
like
$100.
Yeah, like especially like if you're going from different places. Like if you're flying, let's say, out of Brazil to like United States or even some dodgier countries. Like I know Malaysia, it's death. Like you will be hung if you're caught trying to bring in drugs. Like there's hundreds of like tours every year that are sentenced to death for having even like prescription drugs or even like too many painkillers with them, trying to like go through Malaysia. So like there's like serious like strict and no tolerance on like drugs there. Like so you generally, if you are, no matter where you're bringing drugs from and to, generally you'd hope to be like handsomely paid.
Yeah, like she started in Paraguay.
Paraguay, yeah, exactly. Like that's a fucking long ass trip for $100.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, she was really strapped for cash. You imagine that she could probably get an ordinary job and earn 100 quid, like, with less risk.
Yeah, like I wonder how long, like how long had she been on the trip? Like how long since pickup of the cocaine to when she got caught?
Well, if she
Like
got caught,
if you were to break it down by hour, like how much was that an hour?
oh yeah, like I'm gonna level with you. I do not know how far away Paraguay is from Brazil. I imagine it's near enough, just because both of them are in South America.
Yeah.
I think, is Brazil the bottom of South America? Is it the bottom or near the middle of South America? I'm not too sure.
Brazil is like kind of up the top.
Oh, is it up to well, I thought Mexico was up the top.
That's North America.
Well, yeah, Brazil is Mexico is technically North America, but up the top, I mean, up the top would be closer to
Like
the north.
you've got South America is like Venezuela, then you've got Brazil, Peru, Bolivia, Chile, Argentina.
Yeah, I thought Argentina was kind of the more near the top, isn't it? And then
No, it's down the bottom.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
All right, maybe I'm getting mixed up between Brazil and Argentina. That's dangerous business right there.
I only know because I'm looking at a map.
All right, cool. All right, all right. So like, then I wonder where she was going. If she, like Peru, then must be further up, because you imagine all roads lead to the north in terms of you're selling drugs. Because that's where
like,
going.
Paraguay is down below Brazil, like it's.
Oh yes, so she probably just started. She might be from Paraguay. So I imagine, like, if they're translating into like American dollars, like $100 to them might be a year's wage.
Yeah.
Or it might be a lot of money to them. Like they might be able to like get a lot, and then, but yeah, you imagine like how long would you have had to travel for? The fact that she was like taking buses.
Yeah, like I wonder, like, did she bus the whole way?
Yeah, you imagine maybe she is like there's different, like she brings it to maybe Brazil and then someone collects it and brings it to somewhere else. There's like a few mules.
I never thought of that.
Yeah, that could be it. Because like you imagine like a girl coming from Peru would have a pretty hard time getting into America unless she has like a visa.
Yeah.
Especially if she's going to try to drive through a border with Mexico. Yeah, but yeah, that is insane. What age was the woman?
It doesn't say.
It doesn't say. I guess it is rude to ask, so maybe we shouldn't.
I don't think it says there. No, it just says unnamed woman.
Yeah, well, like I said, it wasn't a half bad idea to try it, but fair play to the woman on the bus that was able to go. That is, I'll tell you what that is right there. That is not a pregnant woman. That is a woman trying to smuggle cocaine into Brazil. I am ringing the police, and was fucking right. She's like, I knew it. She must have been like, I bet she went home and she'd be like, guess what I did today? And her husband was like, wow, I caught a woman trying to smuggle cocaine on a bus, and I could figure out, because she was no way she was pregnant. And yeah, like I'd imagine, like I said, I'd say this woman who caught her obviously might have a few kids herself, or I've seen, might be a nurse, and I've seen how pregnant women move about, and can probably tell pretty quickly, even like how she's sitting on the bus, that woman was like, there must have been something up. Like she was able to figure out like that wasn't a pregnant woman. She's up to no good.
Like it's just mad. Like then you've got like the cops. Like imagine if she was pregnant. So the cops just reef this woman off a bus and start searching her because they're like, you're not pregnant.
You Yeah, well, I don't know if the accent's necessary, Ken.
The accent probably wasn't, but whatever.
I'm
Done
now
now.
I'm now throwing you under that metaphorical bus. No, I'm one to talk about not doing stereotypical accents. I imagine, yeah, they might try to wait till the bus stops and like maybe follow the bus and seeing if she got off. But I imagine with Brazil not giving any fucks and the war on drugs that's happening over there. Like we always say, like here in America, go the war on drugs, and it's kind of like it seems like a metaphorical war. No, their police like will shoot through a building and kill anybody inside if they think a drug dealer's in there. Like they do not get.
Yeah.
They take that quite seriously when they say war on drugs. Like it's like if you are anyway associated with the drug market, they will fucking hunt you down. And yeah, so I'd say they have absolutely zero notions about pulling a woman off a bus and searching her if they believe that she has cocaine on her or any drugs on her. Yeah, it's just like a mad world. Like we are so lucky that we live in a very boring, safe country.
Yeah.
Moving on to another, I'd say, reasonably safe country, Taiwan. And this is where our next story comes from, and it's probably one of my favorites of that I found. It was a man who had to sell his PS5 after his wife discovered that it wasn't an air purifier, and like the fact that he has a PS5 probably means that he's really into gaming. You don't have a PS5 right now if you're not a serious gamer or you're just trying to flip it and make a massive like profit off the sale, because like you would have to, before this console actually had a price on it, as soon as like pre-orders started coming in, you'd have to be one of the first in the queue in order to get this.
Yeah, or have a serious amount of money to pay fucking $7,000 for one.
Oh yeah, exactly, yeah, or a photo of one. But like this man, this whole story comes from basically Facebook. And basically, man from Taiwan shared a story on Facebook of like something they found in the Facebook marketplace of someone selling the new PS5 console. His name is Jinwoo, and he was searching the marketplace and came across a PS5 for sale. Now, what was interesting enough about this story to him was that it wasn't going for like a ridiculous price. It was going for a very reasonable price, and a lot cheaper than some of the other PS5s that he found on the marketplace. So he decided to give the seller a call, and he was surprised because the person who answered the phone didn't seem like a gamer. It was his wife that was answering the phone, and just by talking to her, he kind of realized that didn't know a whole lot about the game or the console itself. So he thought that was really strange because, like what he said, the PS5 only came out and it's sold out worldwide, and they're kind of like hen's teeth. It's very near next to impossible to actually buy one, especially when going for. I'd imagine it would be similar to the asking price when you buy it in the store.
Yeah.
So anyway, he pushed on ahead and he decided to meet up and arrange to have a look at the console, make sure it was legit. And when he turned up, it was a middle-aged man that was the one who was meeting him to sell. It was the wife obviously said you can sell it on there, and he basically he's got talking to your man, and he's like asked him like, oh, did you pre-order 2 of the PS5s? And your man like just like he said he had absolute agony looking in his eyes, and he goes, no, there's some kind of really well-known marketplace that he had pre-ordered this very, very early on in order to get his hands on the PS5. Obviously, would probably be a working-class man and had to justify some way to his wife that he was buying PS5. So he said, oh, there's a global pandemic right now. I hear those air purifiers are pretty good. My wife seems pretty nervous about it, so I might float the idea of like buying an air purifier. Now, like in fairness, air purifiers aren't cheap. Like they're about like I think about 500 quid for a certain for a few models of an air purifier. So like so like few people out there might go, well, an air purifier wouldn't cost about 500 quid. Well, it probably might be something similar price, and the PS5 does look like does kind of look like an air purifier.
Like, I wonder how long he thought he was going to get away with it for.
Yes, it's this is what I don't know. Like, when you're plugging it into the TV and then playing, like, he obviously has a PS4, so maybe he thought my wife won't notice that I have it's PS5. So see me playing the console, and she'll want to, like, I imagine she'll want to, like, put the air purifier in different places in the house, make sure every room in her house is clean. So like she'll like come home and she'll see like that. She'll come into the sitting room and see that the like things plugged into the TV. like she'd have to be really stupid, like in order to like realize, hey, I wonder why this is plugged into the TV. Like, he must be like, it's a really good model. It's a smart purifier. You plug into your TV and you can put on different settings. He must have like thought like he'll configure some cock and bull story about, and look, you can control it with your PS4 remote.
And it
says PS5.
It purifies the TV.
Yeah, exactly. So you don't get any filth on it. But like, so like basically, as he got talking, he admitted to the buyer that his wife was making him sell it, and he went silent after he said that, because like he said, he could feel your man's pain when he said his wife was making him sell it. It seems like his wife could tell the difference between PS5 and an air purifier, but yeah, like it didn't say like how long took for his wife to figure out that wasn't an air purifier. Did she see the box in PS5 and say, "What the fuck are you doing? That's not an air purifier. That's a PS5."
Maybe she tried to move it to a different room and pull the TV off the wall.
I imagine. She's like, "Why is there so much wires in this?" But yeah, like I wonder if even in the ad they said, "We'll swap for an air purifier." Because like if someone's selling like a car and there's a type of car that they're looking for, they're like, "I will swap for like an Audi." I wonder in the ad if they said, "I'll reluctantly swap for like a purifier."
There'd be a lot easier way to get a PS5 if people would swap them for purifiers.
Well, I imagine you'd have to have a purifier, air purifier. You probably could buy an air purifier. And then like bring it to them and say, "Oh, look, this is brand new. I just bought it."
Yeah, I just bought it for you. There you go.
Yeah, here you go. Here's your purifier. Give me the PS5. Yeah, but like, yeah, I just think, how long did he think he's gonna get away with that? But I guess, like, in fairness, he picked his wife over the PS5. I know some lads might have been like, I'm not selling this. So your move.
Yeah, like I wonder, like what was she going to do if he didn't sell it?
Beat him to death.
Like,
I imagine, like, if he's in Taiwan, like, I imagine, like, a PS5 is a big expense, and like I don't know what their living standard is. I'm just like, on worst case scenario, like, for your wife to get that pissed off that you're selling, you bought something that was that expensive, that like, and you didn't consult her, and she wanted an air purifier instead. Like, that's like, I imagine like it would have been a huge expense on their budget. Like, I imagine that. But yeah, imagine it's like, I'm not fucking selling this. A lot of lads would. A lot of lads be like, no.
Yeah, like what's the worst she could do?
Divorce.
Over that?
Poisoning.
Like, I remember when Red Dead Redemption 2 came out, that caused all sorts of problems.
Yeah, oh yeah. I imagine marriage counselors like kind of like what I'd imagine fitness gyms get in January. Like like they've probably seen a surge of business of people like arguing over finance. Because what would have happened, I imagine, what this was it was the straw that broke the camel's back. I imagine he did similar things, and he's often bought things, and they're probably minor enough that like you can't lose the head at him over. It wasn't big enough to lose the head out over him, and then he took the absolute piss by buying like a PS5, and like and, like it could have costed like £1,000, and he said he was buying a purifier, and you'd be like, all right, what the fuck? And I imagine the same thing with Red Dead was. Like,
Yeah.
because I imagine lads spend like probably like most of their weeks playing Red Dead when it first came out. Like they called in sick to work. They like probably played it for
Or
6.
like when I first got it, I think I took a week off work,
That's insane.
and then like I was getting in trouble all the time because any time I was left in the sitting room on my own, even for like 5 minutes, I
Yeah.
was playing it.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing with games. They're so addictive. Like if you get into a game, like you'll be in work and you'll be thinking about that game. You'll be thinking like how to solve something or how to get past
Yeah,
something.
you're just like, I just want to go fucking home and shoot some cowboys.
Yeah, or you'd be fantasizing about killing a cowboy or like bringing a guy to a lake or a horse to a lake and like making a horse go into the lake or whatever you do. I've never played Red Dead.
You're missing out.
Yeah, that is like when I got PS4. That's one of the games. Like nearly everybody said you must get play Red Dead. Like everyone said to me. We should move on anyway. That's unfortunate for your man who had to go and buy an air purifier after like planning for months to get this PS5. Maybe you can wait till it comes like cheaper or second hand, and when they're more available, and pick one off a little bit cheaper. But right now we have to go on to no kill meat.
Yeah, I thought that this would be interesting for you because I know that you like the whole vegan thing.
Oh, I love it. Yeah. See, I've less of a problem with artificial meat though.
Okay.
Like I don't want to see I don't want to see animals die so I can eat them. I just think it's more of a sustainable way of getting your nutrients into your body, and it's by far the premium way of like getting the nutrients and vitamins you need from your meat, like B12, protein, and iron. All of it's more bioavailable through meat than it is through vegetables, and it's also fucking far tastier.
Well, there's this company in America that agrees with you.
Yeah.
So this company called Eat Just, and they've got permission to start selling this thing in Singapore. So far, they've only done chicken, but they're moving on to beef now as well. They take animal muscle cells,
Yeah,
and they put them into a bioreactor, and they basically just grow meat.
like will it have the same nutrients that like a cow
They've tested it against chicken, and it has the exact same nutritional value as conventional meat.
Yeah, because like the reason why cows and like chickens have nutrients is because they can break down grass or their food source and extract the nutrients out of foods like grass and seeds that our bodies can't. So it's a lot more easier for us to let them eat grains and grass and seeds and then kill them and eat them, and then our bodies can absorb the nutrients that their bodies have already absorbed. So I imagine. So I would have thought like something that just took cells of an animal. It would look like it would have the same genetic breakdown of the animal, but like it mightn't have necessarily the same nutrients quality as it. So it's interesting. Like once again, I do not know how any of this shit works. So I imagine that maybe like it's weird that like obviously the vitamins and minerals and proteins can actually combine into your cells. That like if you take like a cell of it, like you'll have the exact same nutrient quality as like a living animal. It's interesting.
Yeah, like they've combined it with they have added in, what do they call it? They added in some sort of plant-based ingredient in the later stages of the cell growth.
Oh, so you add in like plant proteins and stuff like that. All right.
So the cells that they use come from the blood of the animal. So like they're moving on to beef now. They're using fetal bovine serum, which is apparently found in blood.
Yeah.
And they're going to try and make a beef burger.
Yeah, I wonder what that tastes like, because I know one of the big problems is the taste is fucking rank.
Well, the problem with it, they're saying that it tastes, it smells, and it has the same nutritional value as real chicken so far. But the problem is that one chicken nugget currently costs $50.
Oh yeah, so it's the cost of making it. It's far greater than the cost of like just killing a chicken and making chicken nuggets out of that. Now, one of the things like for chickens, like protein is pretty. No matter how you get your protein, it's pretty much biodegradable in even really bad forms of protein. It's about 83 to 85% absorption rate. So you'll absorb 85% of the protein in the really bad sources. And then if you look at the top end, like whey protein, you'll absorb 100% of whey protein. So protein isn't that hard to get from foods. Our body can get amino acids that we need from protein. With red meat, it's a little bit harder because of iron. I don't know what the name of the iron in red meat is. It's like a weird name, but it's very hard to replicate. Like that's one of the problems with red meat scientists have, is being able to recreate that kind of iron absorption they get from red meat. They can't seem to figure. That's one of the biggest problems. So I wonder if that's why it was holding back with the red meat.
Yeah, it'd be interesting, like, because they've got 4 companies working on it. So there's like 3 companies in America and 1 in Israel.
Yeah,
all working on getting like basically replicating beef.
Yeah, the 4 countries that aren't known for having really good quality beef.
Yeah.
What you get is you get like a company like Kerry Foods, which is owned by farmers and is like $1 billion company, and you get them to do it because they're farmers, so they might know something about what a cow meat should taste like. Not Israel and America. Well, America they love burgers, I guess, but
yeah, American beef though isn't like, well, like it's good, but it's not as
good quality as Irish beef.
Yeah.
No, because like all Irish beef is grass fed for majority of it. I know they also have other kind of seeds or other feeds that they give cows to give them like these pellet things, but like the majority of them are stuck in fields and let graze.
Yeah, like there's a vast like majority of America like where it's too dry and you don't leave cows out and shit.
Yeah, like it's really hard to get the nutrients out of meat. Would you eat this if it came out?
I would probably try it.
Yeah, I'd like I said, like if they're making it into burgers, this is what they're targeting is fast food. So they're looking at companies like McDonald's or Burger King who will buy large amounts of these burgers so that the price might drop. Because if you're just like trying to sell them in like a frozen food section, it might be pretty hard to get. But if you have like companies like like McDonald's and Burger King buying these burgers in the billions, I imagine, for worldwide distribution, then the cost of like the burger or the chicken nugget might drop considerably. But we'll probably up the price of the average McDonald's.
Yeah, that's another problem. Like there's pictures of it here, and it does look all right.
Yeah, like once again, if more and more people are buying the product, it will drop in price. Like when the first car came out, it was fucking ridiculously expensive. Same with like memory cards were horrendous when they first came out. Now the price for them are pretty cheap. Generally, new technology when it first comes out is horrendous, and then it will drop. So I imagine we'll get the price down pretty quickly when it comes to no kill meat. I just think it's a fucking pretentious ass name.
What would you prefer to call it?
Like, I don't know, artificial meat.
I see. You're probably trying to avoid the word artificial.
Well, that's what it is. Or clone
Yeah,
meat.
but like it's
Clone
not.
meat.
It's not very.
Marketable.
Yeah,
What about clone meat?
that's not very marketable either.
Yeah, there's just no-kill meat. Sounds
Like no kill meat. Like no kill meat could get like vegans and stuff on board.
if I see a vegan eating a no-kill burger, I'm gonna be like, you fucking liar.
Yeah, but like no animal died.
I know no animal died, but they're giving about meat and say, "Oh, meat's bad for you. Blah, blah, blah. Shouldn't eat meat. Like you don't need animal products to get like nutrients from it. They can do it through vegan." You go, "Oh well, why eating that fucking burger then, huh?" It's the same nutrient quality of what meat, dickhead. So guess what? You're wrong all this time, and you're a dickhead. Repatching about eating me.
I think we found the one thing that like pushes Mark over the edge.
Yeah, no, it really grinds my gears. Yeah, it's just like I said, I if it tastes just as good as meat, if it has the same nutrient quality as meat, I imagine I imagine people will eat this. Like people will be in fast food restaurants, be like in the frozen food sections. I imagine you will still have like people will kill animals to eat them still, but it's going to be like a premium product. Like, you know, if you see a really nice steak, like a 30-day matured ribeye,
Yeah,
it's going to be like a premium price. It'd be like 50 quid for the like really good quality cut steaks. I imagine that would in the future, let's just ordinary steaks will be really expensive. It'll be like 25 to 30 quid for an ordinary steak, just because like, and then obviously the standard meat will be AI meat, will be artificial meat. Yeah, but like,
yeah, possibly.
yeah, we'll cut down on fucking pollution to the environment, which is always a good thing, and it will mean that we won't all have to become vegans, I guess, which will be grand. Onto our dick statue.
Yeah, dick statue. So there's this big giant dick statue in Bavaria, and it's 2 meters tall, and it weighs 200 kilos.
Yeah, so it's really heavy.
Yeah. Now it appeared like a few years ago.
Oh, so it is an ancient.
Like it's they don't really know where it came from.
Yeah.
It just like appeared.
Yeah.
And then like nobody ever claimed that they put it there. Nobody ever like said, yeah, whatever, I done that. The cops and stuff, they left it there because it kind of increased tourism.
Yeah, people wanted to see the giant dick.
Yeah, so they never like removed it because it didn't cause any problems. It just increased people coming to the area, and it just vanished. Like
I said, this is generally just what lads do. If they get anything that they can make in the world, 90% of them go, "I'm gonna make a dick." Like every year there's a substantial amount of snow. There's always a snow dick made. I remember, I think last time there was a substantial amount of snow, someone got into a field and drew a giant dick, like in a field that you can see from a helicopter, and like because they know it will eventually get onto the news. Like, one guy made, I don't know if it was a 10-foot dick, but it was a substantially high dick out of snow.
Oh, I remember that actually. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like a really big. So I imagine this was like obviously some carpentry students gone, no, what we'll do, and we'll just leave it there. I can't believe it. Like, obviously, if it was drawn tourism, they're like, well, people seem to like the dick.
Yeah, like, and the problem they have now is like, obviously, it's been reported like missing,
yeah,
or stolen or whatever to cops, and police are investigating it. But if they catch who took it, they don't know what to do because there's no victim. Nobody claimed ownership of it. It's like just there. They said like there's no victim, so they don't know what will actually happen if they find out who took it.
Yeah, because like the person could go around, oh, that's my dick statue. I made that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I imagine I'll probably pop up somewhere else, just randomly.
Like, and like, imagine, like, it just disappeared overnight. Like, it weighs 200 kilos,
Yeah, like it takes
and
like
it's 6 feet tall. Like, how the fuck do you get that? And hill it's up is, well, hill. It's up a fucking mountain, 5,702 feet.
yeah, that's insane. Like that takes a considerable amount of manpower. Someone
Yeah,
really wanted that dick statue.
like, how do you make that vanish?
Well, like it takes like obviously there was a big truck, load of lads, 200 kilos. Like,
Surely somebody would have noticed.
yeah, like yeah. Well, if it happened in the middle of the night, like you're not going to be like. I'd say that hill is pretty much abandoned during the night. Like you probably have a big enough window. Like if you can get enough resources there to take the statue, but it isn't of that much value that like people would take it. Like it doesn't seem like a prank or some guy walking along going, "I really like that dick statue. I'm taking that."
Yeah, like 200 kilos. How many lads would you need to lift 200 kilos?
I'd say a good few. Like, cause
And it's not like 200 kilos of like evenly distributed weight. It's like, because it's got like balls and everything on it.
I imagine you need some kind of crane or some kind of like forklift or something.
Well, you probably wouldn't get that up a mountain.
Well, you drive the forklift. You need a truck anyway. You need like a truck and trailer. If it's 6 foot long, unless because you're not going to put like a 200 kilo in a pickup. Let's say a 6 foot statue standing up in a pickup. You need a articulated lorry of some sort.
But you can probably only drive so far up the mountain, then you have to walk.
Yeah, like I said, it's this fucking mystery. Like that, it takes considerable like either engineering and or like it must like probably was the same people that put it there. Because if you're able to get up the hill, you're probably able to get back down the hill.
Like that takes serious like thought and planning.
Yeah, for a dick statue as well.
Yeah,
but it is amazing that like lads go to that extent to draw giant dicks.
yeah.
And know what our listeners love? Idiots of the Week. This, in case you're a new listener, is part of the show where we talk about people doing dumb things, and it's created for idiots by idiots. And like I said, it's everything about it screams idiots, and that's what we call it.
It's just an idiot corner.
It's basically to celebrate stupidity of man, and we got two classic examples of that. First is about a man who lost 53.6 million euros in Bitcoin after his cleaner threw out his access codes. You'd be pretty pissed off at the cleaner, wouldn't you, Ken?
I think you're right. That cleaner's fired.
Yeah, at very minimal, she's fired.
How can you be sure that she threw them out though and didn't like just steal them?
Oh, she told him. She like we'll get into it. There's a lot, like I said, this story there's a lot of twists and turns. Like, what is the most amount of money you lost ever?
I don't know, like 20 quid.
I think the most 20 quid. You're very careful with your money. I think the most money I've ever lost.
I don't really carry money.
Yeah, I think it was like 150 quid, and that was like losing. I imagine most like losing a child. Like it hurt, but
like I never carry money.
Yeah, and I remember when I was younger, I also lost my nan and granddad used to bring me and my sisters out when it was around our birthday to buy clothes, and they obviously gave me the bags. I put them down, lost all the shopping.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, so like, well, like, lucky enough, someone turned it into and like we were able to find the shop, and we got it back anyway. That can not be said about the 53 million that your man lost. But unfortunately for this Irish drug dealer, this is exactly what happened. Basically, he wanted to hide his money, so he decided to hide it, I think, in about 12 different wallets in Bitcoin. and he had various different access codes, each of the wallets hidden away in a fishing rod and fishing gear in a little metal cap. They had about 6,000 bitcoins in the various different accounts. And basically, like when I first heard like this was a drug dealer that had lost 53.6 million, I started to fear for the cleaner's safety at this point.
Like at first I was thinking, why didn't he keep the codes in a safe?
It would be too obvious. Like, people know, the first thing, like, obviously if you have that much money as a drug dealer, like, people, the chance of someone breaking into your house, the first thing that they're going to go for is the safe. So, like, he, like, basically, he kind of got a little bit lucky in one sense, because he saw his crypto soar in over the last few years. So he's obviously storing it in for a while, and then Bitcoin has increased in value. So he managed to grow his worth of his Bitcoin collection over accumulation, and managed to get it up to, like I said, a reported 53.3 million euro.
That's not bad.
That is not bad. I think this story happened in about 2017.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, it's now basically his cleaner was clearing out his house. She was told to throw out a few things belonging to the drug dealer. Didn't think much of obviously the rods that the access codes were being held in, and threw out the fishing rods. But the thing is, if you're in somebody's house, cleaning someone's house, I wouldn't throw out a fishing rod. Like, it seems that seems like an odd thing. Whatever about some maybe fishing box with stuff that looks like rubbish or in it, and like you might throw out the contents of what's in the fishing box if it looked like junk. But an actual fishing rod, it seems like something odd to chuck into the trash.
Or maybe it was like all broken up and taped back together.
It could have been I think it was. The access codes were on scrap pieces of paper. They didn't look like much, but it didn't say she's seen the scrap pieces of paper, because they were obviously kept in a metal kind of tub inside the fishing rod. So they're kind of securely hidden away. So like it didn't, obviously maybe he said it was broken. So, but anyway, it kind of came to a happy ending, sort of. Well, sort of not. So, well, happy ending for the cleaner anyway. So basically, the Irish drug dealer is now serving about 5 years in prison for being probably a drug dealer. Imagine, he was in prison anyway, so like he couldn't get his hands on the cleaner after she threw out his access codes. But while he was in prison, his house was broken into, obviously by his drug dealer friends, who realised he had money hidden away in Bitcoin, looking for said Bitcoin. Now they couldn't find any of the access codes, and the guards know this because they're obviously tracking the money that's in the accounts, and they said they haven't seen any movement on any of the accounts. So no one has taken any of the money. According to the cleaner, that she threw out some of that fishing gear, and so obviously the first thing the police would have went to was the dump site, and they did say the people who worked in the dump said they did see a load of fishing gear, but it was sent abroad for incineration. So basically, all his money basically went up in smoke. But at least the money is safe. Like, no one's gonna steal it from the drug dealer after he gets out in 5 years. I don't know if there's any other way of proving that it's his money. But imagine if the guards are monitoring the account, as soon as he does try to touch it, it'll go into the Assets Bureau.
Yeah, I'd say if he manages to get into it,
that
Criminal Assets Bureau are going to take that.
Yeah, they're going to probably take the money, but yeah. Lucky enough, at least the cleaner. Let's hope her life is all right. But if it wasn't for her throwing it out, the money might have actually been in some other drug dealer's hands. So I guess all ends well.
Well, I don't know. We'll have to see what happens to the cleaner when he gets out of prison.
Yeah, exactly. I don't like if this happened back in 2017. Like there might be only 2 more years until he gets out. He might be out already.
So there could be trouble.
Yeah, there could be definitely trouble. And this is kind of like a dumbest criminals episode of Shite Talk podcast show, because we had the two guys trying to steal an ice cream shop. We had a woman trying to smuggle cocaine into Brazil. We've had a drug dealer, a Bitcoin story, and now our final story is about an arsonist. And basically, this happened in the UK, happened in the Yorkshire area. A couple were woken up to a man pouring petrol and breaking windows in their 2 cars. Now, they said that they didn't know the man, didn't understand why your man was doing this. The guy was trying to set their car alight. They had 2 small kids in the house at the time, so they're obviously saying that they'd rather the car being stolen than a man just set it alight. He'd worry about that the flames might catch onto the house and set the house on fire as well. But luckily enough, that didn't happen. Karma, if you believe in it, this would be probably an example you might use that karma does exist, because what happened was, as your man was pouring petrol on the cars, he managed to get some on himself. So when he set light to the cars, not only did the 2 cars go up, but he went up as well.
Jesus.
And he set himself on fire as well. Now, he did manage to escape, so he wasn't burnt to death, but he probably was severely burnt in this random attack.
Yeah, like that wouldn't be the smartest thing in the world to do. Like,
once again, like if you are trying to set something on fire or trying to be an arsonist, one of the things that you it's probably lesson number 1 in arsonist school is don't pour petrol on yourself.
Yeah,
you're the closest thing to the flame. You will go up first.
Like, and
I remember there's a Northern Irish comedian. I can't think of his name. But he has a joke about terrorists blowing themselves up. He goes, "Where I'm from, if you blow yourself up, you went to the back of the bomb making school." But once again, if you are an arsonist and you set yourself alight, you should go back to the back of the arsonist school. You are clearly not very good at your job. Right? I wouldn't say people can make money out of this, but still.
I'd love to know his thought process. Like, here I am covered in petrol, but it's going to be okay because I'm not going to go on fire.
I imagine he was on some form of hard drugs.
Maybe.
If this is a random attack, no. He either has mental problems and probably didn't even notice the petrol going on top of him, or even thought about, I wonder what happens if I catch fire. Because he managed to set 2 of the cars alight before actually then himself, before he actually started burning himself. But sure,
well, that's some sort of an achievement, anyway.
Yeah. Well, you imagine you see this in movies all the time, that they make it like a run strip of fuel away from the car, so they light that, so at least it travels in a straight line, so you don't burn yourself.
Yeah, I think that possibly might only work in movies, though.
Would it? I imagine fuel would, if you did that, if you lit a line of fire and all of it would go up. Might burn out. Let's not give people ideas. But yeah,
add that to the 30 list.
Stop giving people ideas can get us fucking sued. Yeah, but I just thought it was an interesting story. It was kind of karma working against the man, and yeah, it was just an interesting story. Definitely attributed for an idiot of the week.
Oh yeah, he gets an award.
Yeah. And yeah, I guess we'll leave it there on our Shy Talks Dumbest Criminals. I think that's what I'm going to title this week's show. We'll be back next week at some point, a little bit late for the podcast. I know shit happens. We'll try to get once a week. It generally falls on a Thursday/Friday. And we should be back around this time again with more shite talk. Any
Good luck.
any newsworthy stories, send them our way. Talk to you then.
Shut up and sit down.